Okay, so I just finished making the spaghetti dish from HelloFresh. Excuse me. The spaghetti and sausage dish, which I'm eating right now. Can you see that? I'm almost done. I have pictures and a video, so I'm going to post that, upload it. I just wanted to get a reaction while I'm eating the spaghetti and for how good it is. It's so good. It's so fresh. It's like you can taste everything, all the peppers, the parsley, the Parmesan cheese, the tomato sauce. The base is so good. So I really like the dishes from HelloFresh. This is like the fourth dish that I've made from them. And each time I make it, it's like they're perfect. Like everything just goes together. All the flavors work together. And even though, I mean, I've made spaghetti and sausage before, to have it made with the same ingredients but different, I guess, brands or different made, or I don't know, somehow it just tastes better. It just tastes fresher. And so I just wanted to post that and say like if you're, trying to decide on a meal service, I highly recommend HelloFresh. I also I'm trying another service. It's called Sun Basket. And I made a dish from them as well. I made the Helen's charred rice and ground beef, and it was really good. It was really tasty, very good. Took a little while to make, but I'm gonna post the process of that meal too. Um, I mean, right now I don't have any complaints. It was really delicious, different, but good. And so between the two so far, HelloFresh is still my number one. So that's my take on HelloFresh. Thanks. So here we go. As you can see, it's a HelloFresh bag. This is how it comes. It comes in the bag, nice and cool, refrigerated. And so we have all of the ingredients here. Um, all of the ingredients come in the bag. The tomato base, which was really delicious. The sausage. There's like 3 sausage, and then you have to remove the casing. And the basil, the seasoning, which is really nice, spaghetti, again, and the Parmesan cheese. Yay! Okay, so I'm gonna cut up all the vegetables, all the produce, the bell pepper, I'll cut up really fast, and the onions, and a little bit of the parsley we'll cut up as well. So that's gonna speed right through. Again, with HelloFresh, all the ingredients are really, really, really fresh. And then we're going to remove the casing from the sausage. I like to use kitchen shears. You can't go wrong with kitchen shears in your kitchen. They're just so helpful. So I'm going to remove all the casing from all the sausage. And then I'm just going to also dice the sausage with the scissors. Like, I'm going to say dice. I'm going to say cut. Cut the sausage with the scissors, which makes it really easy to do when you're using scissors in the kitchen, as you can see. That just cuts it right. And then also while you're cooking, you can also sort of dice it up even more. But this sort of helps initially to just dice it up, as opposed to trying to use a knife. Because once it's soft, it's hard to cut with a knife. So the scissors just really help. So I'm going to cut those up. And as you can see, all the ingredients are cut. The onions, the bell peppers, the parsley, and now the sausage. It's all diced up there. There we go. So everything's there. The onions, bell peppers, parsley. And so then I'm going to take a skillet, add a little bit of oil to the skillet so that we can cook all these ingredients together. Put a little bit of oil. Make sure the skillet is really, really hot. And we're going to add the onions, the bell pepper, and the sausage. And the bell pepper. And we're going to kind of cook that first let it cook until I guess the onion is a little bit translucent before we add in the sausage. You want to cook the onions and the peppers together with a little bit of the seasoning, not all of it, just like half of the seasoning on the peppers. You can do this now or you can do it when you add the meat. It's up to you. But the ingredients call to do it now. So as you can probably hear it. You can hear it frying, the onions and the bell pepper, and it smells really good. So we're gonna let that fry and cook a bit. And also on the stove, I already had the spaghetti boiling, so that's boiling on the stove as well. So we're gonna just stir that around a little bit. As you can see, while I'm off the screen, I'm stirring things around. Okay, so here it is. Now here's the sausage with the bell peppers. Now I'm gonna add the tomato base and stir that in into the meat and the peppers and the onions. And as you can see, there's only a few ingredients here. There's like the sausage, the onions, the bell pepper, the tomato base. That's like 4 ingredients here, not too bad. And then we're gonna add the rest of the seasoning. Now, with seasoning, I know sometimes we have our own particular taste in mind. Feel free to go ahead and add your own seasoning. I like to add like garlic salt in place of regular salt, just because if I'm going to add salt, I want some garlic salt. And we like crushed peppers on pretty much everything, so I think I added a little bit of crushed peppers in here, which the menu says you can do as well, and maybe some black pepper as well. And so that gave it a little bit more, I don't know, to it, a little more spice. Okay, so then we added the spaghetti. Now the spaghetti calls for once the spaghetti is done and you rinse it, to save a little bit of the spaghetti water, put it aside, and then once the spaghetti is done, there's a little packet for the spaghetti broth. You add that to the spaghetti and you pour the water on top of that. Let that cook down a little bit more for about 1 or 2 more minutes, and then you can add it to the meat sauce. So that's what I've done. So you can see the sauce is a little bit more juicier and has a little bit more water in there because it's from the spaghetti base. So I'm just going to stir that around and honestly let it cook down for about, I don't know, 15 more minutes. And voila! Add a little bit of that parsley, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and this meal is done. So it didn't take that long at all. It didn't take, maybe about 15-20 minutes tops to make this dish. And I must say my family tore it up. My son came down. He's a spaghetti lover anyway, so he ate practically all of it. And my husband ate it. I ate it. It's really delicious. So again, HelloFresh. There's not a meal I've prepared yet that I really have a complaint about. I don't have any complaints about HelloFresh and their meal. They're super delicious. I'm just going to stir that around, and I think I'm going to serve it up right now. There it is. Again, you can add a little bit of parsley to your plate once it's done. Yeah. I'm going to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And as you can see in the beginning of the tape is once I started eating, how delicious this was. Very delicious. Even the noodles were really good. I think the broth on the noodles just gave some flavor to the noodles. It was really good. Which is something I think I'm going to start doing. Once I cook my spaghetti, then I'm going to add it to some broth and then put it in the meat sauce. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks a lot.